Hello everyone, Clayton here at etrailer.com. Today we'll be working on a 2020 Honda Passport. We'll be taking a look at, and I'll show you how to install the Curt T-connector 7-way wiring harness. Our 7-way is going to give us all the proper lighting functions to travel safely down the roadway. And most vehicles have a 4-pole, but having a 7-way is going to allow us to hook up to a lot more trailers. We have a few extra functions. We have our brakes, we have our reverse lights, and we have our charge line. Whereas in just a regular 4-pole, we have a ground, left turn, right turn, and running lights. This is what our 7-way is going to look like installed. As you can see, it has a nice sprung door. It has a nice weather stripping on the inside just to keep our connector protected from all those outside elements. One really nice feature about this kit is it's all plug and play. So you don't have to splice into any of our factory wiring or anything like that. It's going to be super easy to get installed. In fact, the hardest part about this is just taking everything out of our trunk. And while we're talking about installation, I'll go ahead and show you how to get it installed on your Passport now. To start our installation, we want to lift up on our cargo cover. We'll go ahead and take this out. We now want to remove this cargo bin here. We're going to twist these tabs on each side to release our plastic. And we'll just lift this out of place and set it off to the side. We now want to remove our spare tire. We'll unthread our nut here in the middle that holds our spare tire down. Now we can pull our spare tire out. We now want to pull out our spare tire kit. This styrofoam simply just pulls out of here. You do want to pick it up by the jack so we don't break our styrofoam. We now want to take off the trim for our rear hatch. All we want to do is simply lift up on this and pop these snaps out of place. We will set this off to the side for reinstallation later. We're now ready to lift our carpet out of place. There are going to be 2 plastic push pins, one located on each side, right here in the back corner. We're going to take our trim panel tool, slide it behind here, and just pull out. We can now just grab this and slide it out of place. We'll set this off to the side. We're now ready to remove this plastic cover over our hook. I'm going to slide our screwdriver behind that crack there and then pull out. That's going to reveal an 8mm screw. We can go ahead and take that out. We now want to lift up our cargo latch. And we're going to take that small flat blade screwdriver and just pry behind here. Carefully lifting up, revealing a Phillips head screw down there. We can set our cargo latch off to the side. We now want to grab a nylon pry tool. We're just going to reach in behind this gasket, kind of pry out at our panel. Just work your way down, releasing the tabs. If you see that white connector there, that's the one we're going to be using. Now I'm going to grab a trim panel tool and pry up on this black plastic piece located here in the middle. It's not going to take much, but you do want to pry very carefully, so we don't want to break our plastic. With all of our tabs removed, we can pull out on this to reveal our grommet right here. That grommet that we just got access to on the top is going to be located right here on the bottom. We're simply going to pull out on it. We can grab our new harness. I have to maneuver our factory wiring around to get our new plug to fit through here. With most of our wiring pulled through, we can move back up top. And I just want to pull everything back up through our grommet. And I want to take our new harness, route it up behind our panel here, and we'll pull back our panel like so. Make our connection with this plug to the factory plug behind our panel. You'll hear a nice click. Give it a little tug and make sure it's not going anywhere. We just want to add our 10 amp fuse to our fuse holder here. We're now ready to add our 2-sided tape to our module. We'll peel back one side, stick it on there, make sure to press it on pretty good. We can now take our backing off. We're going to pull up on our carpet right here, just slide this underneath, and then we're going to stick it down to the body. Now it's going to be hard to see, but it is going to be right there. Make sure to push down on it for a while, just keep it in one spot. Now I want to reach down and pull our grommet up from underneath. I'm going to grab our snips and cut our grommet. Now our goal here is to slide our new wiring harness through this cut that we're about to make in our grommet. We can pull the last part of our grommet apart like that, slide our wiring through, then push our grommet back down into the hole on our floorboard. We now want to determine a good mounting spot for our grommet. I'm going to mount ours right here. It's a good solid location, and we'll be able to tuck our wiring up and hide it. We'll grab our self-tapper provided and run down our ground. Now I want to shake our ground and make sure it's not going anywhere. We can zip tie our wiring up out of the way. We are now done working in the trunk of our vehicle, so we can reinstall our trunk components in the reverse order that we took them apart. We now want to come back and secure our wiring with zip ties up here around our factory wiring. You do want to get this as tight as possible so it stays away from the sway bar. We're now going to come up to our engine compartment and add a few fuses. Our fuse panel is going to be located right here. There's going to be 3 tabs. We're simply going to push in on each tab and then lift up on the cover. That'll reveal our fuse panel. Our kit is going to provide us with 4 fuses. The 10 amp fuse in the standard size is going in that fuse holder in the wiring harness. Then they provide us with a 30 amp fuse and then 2 micro 20 amp fuses. We're going to add our 30 amp fuse right here. Simply just set it on top, then push straight down. Then our 20 amp fuses are going to go here next to the 30 amp and here next to the 10 amp. Check and make sure all of our fuses are pushed down. We now want to grab our 7-way mounting bracket. If you don't have one of these, you can find them here at etrailer.com. We can come back and add our mounting hardware. We just want to grab our wiring like this, plug it into our 7-way, give it a nice tug and make sure it's tight, then we can mount our plug into our bracket. We now come back and tighten everything down. With everything hooked up to our tester, we can go ahead and test out all of our lighting functions. To start, we'll start with our brake lights, our running lights, our right turn, and our left turn. That's going to complete our look at and the installation of the Curt T-connector 7-way wiring harness on our 2020 Honda Passport.